that I would have to spend the majority of this film talking to myself. And yeah, it was definitely a challenge. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced before.
The movie is mostly about the relationship between you and Bumblebee. How difficult was to create that relationship when the other character wasn't in set?
Very difficult. It was funny when I first read the script. Because it felt so real on the page that it never really crossed my mind until I, got there. Or I guess sort of later in the game before we started filming, that I would have to spend the majority of this film talking to myself. And yeah, it was definitely a challenge. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced before, but it just became about creating enough backstory that felt real, that I didn't necessarily have to have something or someone there responding to me to make it work.
¿Hay alguien que pueda ayudarte? ¿Tienes familia? ¿Solo yo?
Bumblebee in some moments is closer to E.T. or a John Hughes movie than the Transformers of Michael Bay. That kind of difference, it was better for you?
It's definitely something that stood out to me. Like I said, when I read, this relationship on the page, it felt real. So bringing it to life had to feel just as authentic. And Travis Knight, our director, who has a background in animation, I felt had a perfect visual of what the end result of this film looked like. Therefore, he was able to really fully help and guide me every step of the way in, translating what was going on around me so that it at the end of the day made sense.
You see anyone besides me, what do? Great, perfect. Come back now.
You are also a musician, a singer. Could you make some suggestions about Charlie's taste in music?
Well, I love her taste in music. It was nothing I had to alter really in any way. Yeah, she's got great taste in music, and one thing I love about how big of a role that music plays in this film is music plays such a huge part in my life, and it just goes to show you that here you have this object that doesn't speak, doesn't have a voice, and the only way for him to find one is through music, and I think there's something to be said in that.
Tell me about you have experience in coming-of-age movies, like Age of 17. In this feels like, in some moments, like a coming-of-age movie. That kind of characters, do you like most?
I do. I think that, it's not necessarily something I will look for, but if it's there, it is something I'd connect to. And I love that, this film is a coming-of-age story, I feel, for everyone in this film. It's about everybody struggling with the same emotions and not feeling like they're alone in it, but realizing that they're not. And that goes for everyone in this film, which I think is pretty cool.
In the 80s, in a couple of episodes of the cartoon, Bumblebee went to Peru. This is my country. So maybe you could do the same one day.
I would
you
love
have
that.
a lot of fans on Peru.
Really?
Yes.
Amazing. I would absolutely love to come there, of course.
Bumblebee.